recording the class. And then I also want you to see this library that we've been talking about, because it could be very interesting for doing also some stuff with graphics and audio. But for now, I'm want only to do a small survey with your assignments. Okay, so let's go and check for team number one. Team number one, let's see, Tasti Mango Yama. This is the code for team number one. By the way, is everything fine? Are you okay? I can see you, so if you don't mind leaving your cameras on as much as you can, I would love it. When I don't see you, I start to feel like I'm alone, and that's a very annoying and sad feeling. I feel that I could be in a radio station talking to nobody. So if you can turn on your cameras, that would be awesome, and that would be nice for you. Okay, so I appreciate it. Okay, so this is team number one. Team number one, can you tell us a little bit about this project, please? Team number one.
Of course, teacher.
Yes.
We try to first change the tempo. So it can go faster or slower as you want.
Okay.
We also change the reverb, but I don't remember if it was a reverb for all the notes we have. I think yes.
Is the river working?
Yes.
I don't hear it.
When it's
Turn it down.
The panning is not. Oh yeah, the panning is working. And the tempo, what about the tempo? Is the tempo? Yes, the tempo is working. Although maybe the values are should be a little bit higher, right?
yes.
Because yeah, but it's working. Okay, nice. And then the people is connected, right? Excellent. Good. Congratulations. It is working. You have your sounds. Good. Now let's check for the next one. Whoopee, and then the next one. Okay, let's go for team number two. Team number two. Team number two. Okay, team number two.
That's ours. But we didn't manage to add correctly the panning slider, neither the tempo slider, because
No.
it was like when you like added the variable to the sound.ppm value, it got stuck, and we didn't know why.
Okay. Can you share me your? Can you give me access to this project?
Yeah.
Okay, team number two, you have your index HTML. In the index HTML, you have your panning object, like in the one of the first assignments, right? Then
right.
You go to the script, you probably should have around here a place where you read it. Where are you getting the object? Are you getting the object in some place around here? No?
The object of the panning?
The object of the slider.
No, we have to remove that because it was crashing. So in order to have the code like at least working, we had to remove it.
Okay. For example, here in the setup, you will need here like you will need a variable, okay, which is my slider, okay. And then where you have your slider in some place in your code, maybe at the beginning of the code, you can do that slider. It's equal to document. How do you get it? Document, can somebody help me? Get element by class, or is it
The class is panning.
ID.
pardon me?
Get element by ID.
ID.
Get element by ID like this.
No, the lowercase. Yes.
And then what is the ID that you are using?
Panning.
The-
Yeah.
Oh, this is the class.
It is pan.
Oh, it's pan. It's pan, right? So you just need to do the pan on the script, right? We can just confirm that we are getting something by console.log slider to check that you are actually having a slider, right? So you go here, you open your developer tools, and we check if you are actually, okay, you have the tone. What is this new at new by? Oh, I'm gonna refresh. Okay, and then you do have a slider, okay? Can you see this? You do have a slider, which is good, okay? And then the only thing that you need to do is then you need to check for the next for the action. You need to add an action. Remember, so how can we do this? Maybe you say JavaScript slider function. Okay. Then you go to these 1,000 millions of people that are doing this, and we can go through here and check that you have the slider on change function. Okay. If you go to the slider on change function, you can say only slider on change. I want a function. What do you want to do with this one? For now, let's check that this is actually working. Console.log. Okay. I just want to see that we are not having issues here. I go back here. I quit. I refresh. Okay. And then if I move the slider, I'm getting numbers. You can see the 25, the minus 95, the 65, the 100, and so on, right?
Right.
That means that that you have something here in the range. Why do you want the range to be minus 100 to 100? Oh, because you are saying this is panning. Well, maybe it would be better to have it from -1 to 1, right? With a starting value of 0 in steps of 0.1. Okay.
Okay.
And then what else do you want to do here in the panning? Well, the thing that is missing is that you in the script, instead of doing this, you want to connect this to some place, right? Are you connecting this to destination? It seems that all of your sounds here are going to destination. And instead of going to destination, maybe you want them to go to panning. Okay. So I go to Tone.js because I don't know how to put a panning. I go to the API. I do and I start to see for panning, and then I have auto panner, which is an effect. I don't think that's what we want. I have a pan volume. I have a panner, and then I have a panner 3D. Okay, it seems that
Actually,
probably
teacher, we tried the banner, that one, but when we put it starts to crash, so we remove it. But that was the one that we were using.
okay, let's give it a shot. Maybe the mistake was in another place. Okay. And then we want to create a panner, right? So I'm gonna create a panner. It seems it has to be tone panner. What is this, by the way, what is this one that we have here? As you can see, we can have,
Center?
I don't know. We just see what, I don't know, because I don't know what is this one. I will go to the constructor, and in the constructor says that you have in the panel, okay, you have as audio range the initial panel value, okay? The initial panel value, which default is 0, which is the center. Okay, now that we know what does that means, we don't care too much about this panel. So I copy this file and then I go to a global variable. Maybe the having the panning as a global variable could be good. So I'm gonna create a panel, right? Where are we creating all the sounds and things? We are creating all these things in, I don't know, probably I can create it at the beginning of the code. So I can create in the, oh, are you doing this in the setup? Okay, I'm gonna create my, what was the name? Panner. So I'm gonna create that the panner, okay? It's equal to a new tone panner. I'm gonna decide to start in the center to destination. Now I have this panner, right? This is the panner. Can you follow what I'm trying to explain?
Yeah.
You turn off your cameras. You turn off your cameras. Try keep them on. It's good for me, really. When I start to see your faces really tired, I know that I have to stop. Otherwise, I cannot. I don't have any feedback with you guys, any feedback, and it's really hard, really hard. Okay, so we have the panel here, right? Can you see the panel with a 0? What else do we need to do? That means that I go back to the panel, that all the connections are connect to the panel. So instead to have all your codes, instead of having all your codes to destination, I'm gonna connect, right? To whom? To panel. And then I modify all of the codes that are here, right? All of these ones to panel. I go back to check if this is actually working. I don't move a lot.
Teacher, but these ones only change the samples, isn't it? The part of the green part of the table won't change because we're not connecting them to the panel.
You are all right. So we do the same on here. We do the same here on this one. Okay. And that's it. Now we have them also on the, that's it. That's all of the places where generating sound. And then probably the next thing to do is that when we move the slider, what we are actually gonna do is we are gonna go panel. Oh, panel. And how do I change the panel? Well, I change the panel. How do I change the value of the panel? Panel.pan ramp2 -1 in this amount of time. Well, I can actually use this one, right? Panel, panel.pan ramp2 to what value? What value do we want to use? Well, we can actually want to use the value that we are getting from the slider, right? But this is gonna take half of a second to move, which is too much. So 0.01, this amount of time to go from one to the other. So we cross fingers that everything is actually working. Please don't turn. And this is moving to the left, to the right, to the right, okay? Now to the left. So that means that now it's working, okay? And that's it, all set. Can you, was this helpful for you guys?
Teacher, could you send us the slider code? Because I tried to do a high pass filter with the slider, but it wasn't working. Thank you.
Now, there are a couple of things that are interesting here. One of them is, I like the graphics that you have. How do you manage to change the graphics? Oh, difficulty the slider style. Look, the CSS change the panning, right? So it was through the CSS that you managed to change the panner, right?
Right.
Okay, that's nice. I like that. I don't like the white here, and I don't like the text here. This text panning here, maybe it could be a little bit more fancy,
Give me a
but it's working. Okay,
Thank you, teacher.
good.
second.
Okay, next team number 3. So I will close the panning. I will close this one. I'm not going to close this one because I want to go through that. I'm not going to close this one. I'm not going to close this one. I'm not going to close this one. I'm closing this one. I'm closing this one. I'm closing this one. Then I'm opening this one. Okay. This is team number 3. Team number 3, any news, any comments, any observations?
Yes.
Yes, what's going on?
We didn't put the panner because we didn't knew we needed to put it, but the sounds are working well. I
Nice.
think.
What is this white one that you have here?
Yeah, the moment we changed the background, the white line appeared, and we tried to erase it, but we didn't know how.
Okay, when you change the background, that's probably on the index H. Can you give me access to your code, please?
I think you already have.
Yeah, no.
Okay, let me try. Done.
Thanks. Okay, so you have here your script. I don't think you don't have anything on the script, 3 by 600. All of these should be similar, okay? You have your CSS, okay? There are a couple of things here that may, okay, oh, this is your margin, this is your background size, and this is your H1, your H2, and your P. Why do you have H1, H2, and P? Are you using it for something?
Yeah, H1 it's for the
Collaborative sequencer and play what you want. Okay, so that means that you have H1, H2, and P, and then means also that you have all these ones with a background image and a margin. And then you have these as white. How many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, right? That means that this is part of the canvas, not of your background. Okay, you have 24 here. We go back to your script. We study your script because you are actually having here 24 nodes. Then you have your canvas. I'm gonna do format because you should get used to have your code nicely formatted. Otherwise, you get confused all the time. Okay. Tone load. What happened here? Why do you have these ones here? I don't know, but this should be here, right? Or not? Why is this one putting these ones here? Okay, this is better. Okay. Then you have a background. What happened if your background, you put your background as RGB? I just want to see what happened if you select your background as RGB. No, this is white. Oh, now it's black. Why is it black? That's weird. Background with RGB. Oh, your background, you change the color mode, right? You'll change the color mode on your setup. Yes, you have your HP in 24. That means that we should do this in 24R. And this is hue, saturation, and I don't know, brightness. I'm just playing with this for a second. Then I refresh this, and then you change this. Okay, this is part of your background. Okay, this is part of your background. Okay, that's not good. That's not good. That means that in some place you are not using your entire range.
Teacher, actually, Gustavo and mine, we also have that problem, and we fix that with the variable of num samples at the top of the code.
Yes.
Because how many samples do you have on the project?
4.
3 or
We used 4, but we in assets we have like 8.
I don't know if that's true that you need to put the num samples equal to how many samples do you have. So if you have 3 samplers, you put 3 on num samples. Like in that else if you have 4 different samples: player kick, player snare, player tom, and player hi-hat. So I think at the top of the code you need to put 4 instead of 2.
Okay, here okay. So the problem is that when we had these nicely formatted to be 0, when number of samples were 0, we were actually dividing. Okay, yeah, we were actually dividing the entire canvas in 24 elements, right? But then because now we want to include some more elements here, let's say 8 more, then you need to shrink and do this a little bit smaller, because now you don't have to put 24 but 32, right? 32 of them, because you want 24 on this section and then 8 on this section. So you should be careful, because now the divisions, all the places where you have the divisions are in the section where you are doing that, which is actually in the place of your draw when you have in here. Yes, and where nodes, what is the value of nodes? What is nodes? Where are you getting the value nodes?
At the top also is a variable, I think it's 24.
Oh,
yes.
Nodes is 24. Okay, yeah. So if you have this, you have this n, it's not nodes for nodes. If n, it's smaller than nodes minus the number of samples, okay? And then you have a field with these colors, and then you are doing n times button high. How much is button high? Well, button high is not anymore, is not high divided by nodes, but high divided by nodes plus, okay, plus number of samples, okay? This is important too, and then we need to use the parentheses here, okay? So in that case, the number of samples, when you say, okay, we have 5, maybe this is gonna crash, but if we have 5, now that's it, okay? These are 24 for my samples, and then 5 for my other ones. Okay, yeah, so the problem is there. It's not related with the background, okay? Does that make sense? I'm not gonna fix it right now because it can take a lot of time, but you should be taking into account that elements, okay? Be careful with that. And then the slider, well, the slider is already defined, or we already show how to do it in the previous assignment, okay? So
yes, thank you.
It's okay. And then what about here? Another click is also misspelled. Okay, oh, we don't want to do this. Okay, and there is no slider. Please fix that as at your early convenience. Okay,
Yes.
Yes,
Thank
teacher.
you.
good. Next team. Group number 4. Oh my goodness. Okay, nice. Ah, no, that's ugly. Okay, no, this is horrible. Okay. Okay, can you give me access? I'm just joking. When I'm saying that, I'm just trying to emphasize something that you should start to get used to, which is, okay, let me play it. Oh, hi-hat is not working,
The high pass.
but
Continue.
you can see that it's identical to the thing that we did in the panning, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and now all of it is samplers?
Mhm. A
Más
different
bello
sample.
que el David de Miguel Ángel. Yeah. That is good. But let's go to a couple of things. Okay, we got the idea. Okay, now let's go back to the code. As soon as you see something like this in a code, okay, as soon as you see that you are starting to load a bunch of materials at the same time, as soon as you see these kind of things, okay, you should notice that the people that is doing this code is thinking as a craftsman, or in Spanish, artesano, which is really good. I mean, there is no any problem in that, right? But this thing makes me think that you are considering element by element by element by element by element, okay? As soon as you realize that that is not a proper way of thinking the code, you're gonna get one step in your logic. When things are repeated, you could treat them as arrays of things, okay? Like in the banks. Do you know why do we have so many problems in the bank? Because we are treated commonly in one account. You know why Facebook is rich? Because it's using one single algorithm for 10 millions of people. Okay, imagine that they have to write one line of code for one user that it's in the universe. That's not right, right? You cannot imagine that. I want you to imagine the code in the Twitter systems. They don't have one line of code for Miguel and one line of code for the Twitter account of Jelly and one line of code for the user Diana, one kind of code for Gustavo, and one line of code for Maria, and one line of code for Laura, and one line of code for Angel, and one line of code for David, and one line of code for Mowgli, and one line. I'm starting to see, you can see that you're getting bored, right? That's wrong. That's wrong. You should understand that people start to say, okay, one line of code that treat everybody in the class. How can you manage to do this? Well, this could take us like half an hour to fix. I don't know if this is the right moment to do it, or at least only to say that when these things happen, you should understand that you should put everything in together. Let's go to this one, okay? I'm gonna try to fix it. I may break it. Who is this? Who owns this code?
Andrea and me.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's try to do it. How many different sounds do you have here?
20, no, 60, 16.
1, 2, 3.
I think. Oh, for 15?
20, right?
20,
No?
okay. Yes, it is. I forgot the number of.
From line 10 to line 29, how many lines are there? Is that,
Mhm.
no, 19.
Yes, the 20 I think is the synth.
Okay,
Is
you
the
just keep
original
only
synth.
one for the synth,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mhm.
Okay, let's go here. Let's go here. Okay, here. Okay. Can you see that you have kick, kick 2, snare, snare 2, snare 3, snare 4, and so on? What is difference in all of these ones? What do you have? What is the difference between all of these little guys?
The panning, yeah, the panning, the place
The,
they were.
okay, that means that you have a sound and a panner and a destination, right?
Mhm.
Sound, and there's also something different in this code. What makes this line of code different to this line of code?
Let me see.
Well,
No, it's not. It's just other sound.
okay, well, that's one thing that is important, okay? So here we go. Here we go. Man, this day your life is gonna change. I want you to remember this for your entire life, okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna do an array of sounds, okay? I'm gonna create sounds URLs, okay? Okay, this is gonna be equal to an array of sounds, okay? And here we go. Bye-bye to everybody. Bye, bye, bye. I will cross fingers that I'm not breaking a lot of these things here, but I'm trying to fix it, okay? If you help me, I think you have access, guys. So if you help me to just leave all your sounds all together. I'm gonna say bye to the pannings, okay? For now, just say bye to the pannings. Bye to the pannings.
Mhm.
I hope that you don't mind that I'm doing this, right? Do you code?
Yeah, no problem.
Almost done, right? Actually, most of the time you have this in another file, okay? When you have these type of things, it's good to have it in another file or actually in a database, and then you connect to the database. But I think that's it, right? Can you help me to remove, guys, these lines of code? I just want to keep this as an array of audio files. If you help me to remove this, team number, what was this one? Yes, I can see now that you are removing, but I only see one other person removing. So I don't want this to make this class so boring. So if you help me to do this very quickly, I would appreciate it. Are you guys connected? I don't see anybody connected from this team. Are you team number 4 here? Is anybody from team number 4 in this?
Yes, I'm about to connect to the code, but I think I'm the only one. I don't know if Andrea is here.
But all of the people that has these things can do. I mean, I'm fixing one code, but you can, all of you guys, realize that. Well, I don't want to do this. This should be, if I were you taking this class, I would say, oh, come on, don't do this. but I have to, okay? Never mind, okay. And that's it, okay? And I think that's it, right? Yes, I think that's it. And then I will steal this piece of code, and then I will put this in my sound URLs, okay? This is my sound URLs, okay? Why do we have a mistake? Oh, we don't care about this. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
It seems that we don't need the names. If for some reason we need the names, we will need another array that says names, okay? For now, I will also create a variable that is called pannings. Do you want to have the pannings spread in different locations, or there is some logic and these sounds are spread from left to right identically? What I'm trying to say is this sound in totally left, this is totally right, this is around the center, this is left center, this is right center, and then you are spreading all of these sounds in your how do you say, in your panning space like this? Or sound number 1 is here, sound number 2 is here, sound number 3 is here, sound number 4 is in the ref, and so on. Hello, people, no, team number 4.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yes, as you say, the sum number 1, sum number 2, and so on, so on, so on.
Okay, so this is in the left and this is in the right.
No, I think more as the drums sounds. I pan as drum perspective, and I do an array of congas and bongos. And
okay, that means that you have, how many sounds we say that you have? You have from 12 to 33, right?
From 12 to 33.
Yeah, I just want to know how many sounds do you have? 21?
No, 20.
20?
Or yes, I think 20 or yes, 20 if we count the synth.
But here you have 22 sounds. Here
Sorry, sorry, I forgot the number of the spaces of squares we have.
I don't understand. But okay, I will work with this amount of sounds that you have, right?
Right. Okay.
Do you have also a synth, or do you have a plug synth, right?
Yes, that one.
You have a plug synth of how many layers do you want to have for your synth?
Just one.
Just one. Okay. Okay, so in total, how many sounds do you have?
23.
23. Okay. What about if we have 24 and you keep two for the synths? Well, it's okay. It's your project. No, it's your project. So you are saying that...
No, it's okay. 22. It's good, and we can have another synth.
Okay, so what we are gonna do actually is that you have, no, we cannot have this as 24. So you're saying that you just have one for the synths. So notes is now for the synths, right? And you're gonna have only one synth, and then this amount of sound for your things. Okay. Now you're panning. I don't know about your panning. Okay, but we are saying that you have from 20, then from 12, oh, this is 10, 20, 21, right? You have 21 sounds here. Am I right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you have 21, right? 1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, no, 22.
Yes. 22.
22. Okay, let's say sound number one, you have sound number one is in 0, the other one is in -1, the other one is in 1, the other one is in 0.5, the other one is in 0.7, the other one is in -0.2, the other one, and so on. Okay, minus
Okay.
0.2. I'm just playing with the numbers.
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
But the important here is that you have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I don't know. 10. These are 10. Okay. And 20, 21, 20, 20, 22. I don't know.
The 6, your the 0, 6. Yeah, you lost it.
Okay.
And when you copy wrong.
What do you mean? Oh,
We have other.
okay. Thank you. So that's it. And this is also well, we can keep this as a variable. Okay. This is your panning. Okay. So you have your sound URL, and now you have your panning. Okay. Yes. Does that make sense? And now, where was the place where I erase everything? Oh, I erase everything. I shouldn't have done that because now I don't know how to load the sounds. How are you loading the sounds?
Use just with the name of the variable. We start start the sound.
Oh, no, but the loading was in the setup. So this is the important part. Can you figure out what am I doing? I'm treating everything as elements of an array instead of treating the elements individually. That's what I want you to understand. So what do we need to do is another for, another, I don't know where my lady see, for, okay? E equals 0, while E it's minor than what? Than the amount of sounds that you have, okay? And the amount of sounds dot, how can we get the size of an array? Can you remind me the size of an array? JavaScript, size of an array is dot length, okay? So we go here and we go to the length, okay? Dot I plus plus. That means that I will be traversing all my array. You understand what I'm doing? Okay, so now we are going to say tone. You were loading, how are you loading the sounds?
With a variable, and then we use tone. I forgot the how. Tone. Let me check.
Where are you going to check? Because this was your code. So
yes, but we copy that from your code.
Oh.
We use the name of variable, and then we use tone dot something.
Okay, I can also check it if that is the case. If you were using collaborative sequencer, right? Okay, I'm just open collaborative sequencer. Are you still here, guys? Yes. Oh, tone player to destination.
Tone player.
It's a new tone player dot to destination. Okay. Now, one thing that is important, we need to keep a reference to the sound. If you don't mind turning on your cameras as many as you want, please do that. Okay, I'm gonna do what some schools are doing. I'm gonna give an extra point to the people that has the camera already on all the time. Okay, I'm gonna give an extra point to the class if you have your camera on from here to the end of the semester. Okay. Okay. Now, so I'm gonna do the next thing, which is I'm gonna create also another variable, okay, that is since, okay, and it's gonna be empty. This one will be empty, okay? This variable will be empty. And what am I gonna do here is that I'm gonna say a local variable, I don't know, a local variable, my local synth, whatever, it's gonna be equal to tone, to new tone dot, what was it? Player, okay? New tone dot player to destination. New tone dot player to, do you want a tamal? Do you want a tamalito? Okay, new. And they have also atole. Okay, now, what is the difference here? What is what I have to do there? Can anybody of you explain me what is the next change in code that I have to do here? Because in this case, we are loading one specific sound.
We need to do the same with the rest.
We need to do what?
The same with the rest of the sounds.
No, 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 exactly. That is what we don't want to do. What we want to do is do.
So we just call the array.
Yes, which array?
The first one, who is sounds URL.
Okay, so what do we do?
Like creating the action, calling the array. Like you need to do this action using this data, that is the data inside the array.
Okay. So Charlie Romero, how can we modify line 67 to load one by one the sounds of the URL?
I don't know, teacher.
Okay, can you see that here we are just loading one sound, right?
Yes.
We don't want to load this sound all the time. We are looping. This is a for, which means that we are looping over and over. So we need here to load first the first sound of the array, then the next sound of the array, then the next sound of the array. So Jose Daniel Rodriguez, how can I change line 67 in order to load, to do that? I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna return all the money that I've been getting as a professor. Okay, how? Anybody?
No, I don't know.
Anybody? Anybody? Please.
Maybe if you give us a clue.
Okay.
You have the links as an array?
Okay, we have a list. We have an array that has all the different sounds that we have to download, right?
Can be with sounds URL
Bracket. I brackets close.
I, and with the I.
Where are you? Where are you?
Here we are.
I don't see you.
That's David.
It's okay. Exactly. That's it. Okay, David. That's what we want to do. We want, okay, what we want to do is that instead of having here a fixed name, we are saying, please go and generate a tone player, okay, with sound number 1 of my array. Then go and do this a second time. And then go and do this a third time. And so on, and so on, and so on. Okay? So, but this one is not connected to the destination. This was connected also to a panel, right? So we can go again to the panel. I already erased that. Where was it? I don't have it. I don't want to search for it. Where is it? Okay, I have to go to my tone panel again because I don't have it here. Panel. It was this panel, right? And then it's this panel to the destination, right? It was this one. So what I want to do here is I want to create a panel, okay? I want to go to a panel. Oh, this should be another, maybe a constant, yes. Panel is equal to a panel, but where do we want it? Where do we want it? Where do we want it?
The panel with the sounds, no?
Yes, but are all the sounds panned in the same location?
No, in the array of panning.
Yes, we were saying that we want the first sound to use this panner, the second sound to use this panner, the third sound to use this panner, and so on, right? So what should we do here instead of the one?
Just put panning.
Panning.
Panning. Is that okay?
Yes.
No, that's not okay.
The bracket.
With a bracket, because we are elements of the array, one by one, right? Does that make sense, Emerson? Okay, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Okay, that's good, excellent. Now, we do have the player, and then we have this connected to the destination, okay? Now, oh no, this is the panel to the destination, and this one connect to where? To the panel. Okay. Yes, that's what we want to do. And then the only thing that we now have to do is adding to the synth, to our synth that is an empty array, we will be using push. Push is a method for adding elements to an array. Pushing is like when you have an empty box and then you start to put this one in the box. Now another element in the box. So what we are doing here is we are adding one by one a new tone player. What I want you to understand is that these 6 lines of code or 5 lines of code, okay, work now, no matter if it's for 20 sounds or for 100 sounds or 1,000 sounds or 10,000 sounds or 100,000 sounds or 1,000,000 sounds, okay? The other way, you will have to write 1 line of code for each sound. With this logic, you are treating the sounds as a group, as an array. That's the power of thinking the use of arrays when you need them.
That's what you were saying to us about the, I don't know, Facebook algorithm, that code like, I don't know, organizes the profiles by arrays, very large arrays. That was what the code does.
Again, please.
I was saying that if the codes of pages like Facebook or Twitter where they manage a lot of data. They do this, like these kind of things of arrays and kind of
Yes,
coding.
imagine the logic of doing this. Imagine that you have a, yes, I mean, yes, imagine, I'm writing here. Imagine that I'm a code and I have 100 users and I want to send them a hi message, okay? So imagine this is the way that you are writing your codes. User one dot send message, hola, okay? And the code that you have is that now you are saying user two send message hola, user three send message hola, user four send message hola. You understand what I'm doing, right? This is as insane. I mean, I'm just Hilaric, but I'm not scolding, and I'm just trying to explain you with a little bit of sarcasm that this is the way that you solve your assignment. Okay? Hopefully, or luckily, you don't have 1 million users, okay? Otherwise, we will be in the era of the telegraph, okay? You understand what you were doing in this assignment? You understand? This is what you were doing, okay? This can be different if you only do for integer I equals 0, while I it's minor than 24, okay? Okay. 24, I plus plus, and then here you have something like users as an array, I dot send message hola, okay? You understand the difference?
Yes.
This wrong, this nice, simple, right? Simple, simple, simple. Okay, so the only thing that I'm doing is that this assignment, that could be any of your assignments, like the one you have here, right? This assignment that was organized as this crazy logic, I'm trying to convert that assignment with this logic to an assignment with this logic, okay? So the first step was loading the sounds. What was that in the top? Loading the sounds and connect them each one with a particular panning, which is the thing that you had here, okay? And now
Teacher,
the other place. Yes, you have a question?
yes, could you share that code with us?
I guess, yes, I think so. Absolutely. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Now that I've, okay, you can see it. Yes, excellent. And now that it comes the next step. Because we have here one synth and sound URL length for the other amount of sliders. So we can go here. This is important. The height of the button, this is a problem that had the other assignment. It's how much is the height of the button? Well, the height of the button should be notes plus sound length, right? And although it's not necessary, I put this one just for clarity purposes. Okay, then this is going through, oh, button stage is the same because this should be for all of the different, different nodes plus button stage, because we are treating the synths and the samplers, right? And I think that's fine. Then we go through here, we go through here. You have a filter that you are not using right now, actually. And then you go to here again. Okay, this is important. This is notes, one more time, plus sound URL. Then if n is minor than notes, no, it's not notes, right? It's if n is smaller to what? It should be 1.
Yes, it's because note was 24.
Oh, you're right. But now, because it's only
But,
1,
mhm.
okay, then you create this one, right?
Yes.
And then let real note is equal to note. No, now it's not going to be notes. It's going to be, this is going to be what? This is going to be
Sound length, I think.
no, actually notes minus n in such a way that because notes is 1. So 1 minus n is going to be, because n is a counter, is going to be 0 and 1. And I think this is fine. This may be wrong. Okay. But now it comes here, this one. This one, okay, has the same issue. Now let's say goodbye to this, okay? Let's say goodbye to this. I will give, no, I don't like to work as a capitalism. As a doctor. Oh, whoa, what's going on here? What is going on here?
Oh.
Nos han hackeado.
Oh, no, that's fine. This is my NetCloud data server. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, I will give a free pizza to the person that shows that modify this in the same way that I modify the other thing. Well, no, not extra pizza, no. Please do it by the love of knowledge, okay? And you will get the pizza anyway, but please try, okay? How can we modify this in such a way that instead of having else if node 23, else if node blah, 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 we do the other thing, knowing I'm going to use this format, by the way, because this is crazy. Okay, I cannot.
Somebody is writing the code.
Yes, that's good. I mean, it should be something from of you guys. Is everybody having access to modify the code?
No, just the team. I think.
Yes, I'm one from the team. I'm writing.
I see. Okay, now else if n equal n I. Okay, you are near, but the I doesn't exist anymore here. Okay.
I think. Oh yes, I forgot that.
The only thing that you have for changing is n. The only element that is changing now. One thing that I want to do, could you stop writing? One thing that I want to do is I need to format this code, okay? I need to do something in this code because it's not, as you can see, jumping all over, and then these things like what is inside what is not clear to me, okay? It's not clear to me. So I'm gonna format the code, but for some reason I cannot format the code as if I had made a...
In line 130, we have something.
Where is this one? Where is this? Is this if?
From button states. Let me check.
Okay, that's okay, I guess. L, if this, something is crazy here, and this button stay current, and this is fine. Say goodbye to these. Okay, we have problems. 128. Yes, but this is not. Oh, this is for the time, the tone transport schedule. Okay. A repeater. Ah. No, but this schedule repeater shouldn't. Oh no, it's actually, yes, doing it here. The problem is that this is not closing. Should we need add another one? Okay.
No, the
That's it.
okay.
Okay. Okay. Now that this is more clear, we have this if, okay, if the button state current bit n, if it's on, then I have to do this. If we have to do this, if n is smaller than nodes, then we have to put the synth, which is good. Otherwise, okay, otherwise, and then I'm gonna say bye to this, bye to this, okay? And the only thing that you have to do is to start the sound. Start it. Otherwise, you have to start which sound? Where do you have, where do you store your sounds? Where do you?
Sounds URLI.
No, that was this one. This was a local name. This was a local name that only exists inside this context, because this let was created inside this context. This name only exists inside this context. The only way that you have for accessing the synths is by the index of the array where the synths are located, which is Wirman.
But we can make it global. If we declare it in as a global variable, we can use.
You have 23 synths. They cannot have the same name, all of them. Okay. One more time. I'm going to say this in Spanish. Ya no los estoy tratando individualmente. Los estoy tratando como raza. Oigan, raza. I don't care about you anymore. I care about la raza toda junta. Okay. That is exactly what we are doing in this code. I'm not treating you anymore as one individual person. I'm treating you as a raza, okay? Which is what I'm doing here, okay? And it's exactly what I'm doing here. I cannot treat synth by synth. What I'm gonna do is here, I'm gonna do synths, because actually I'm gonna do this. Instead of calling this one synths, I'm gonna call this a raza, okay? Is it with Z? I guess yes, okay? A raza synth, okay? Because it's a bunch of synths that I will treat as a, and then I'm gonna put it here, okay? You understand what I'm doing? And now that this one has all the different synths all together, that means that now I can, where was it here? I'm gonna synth my raza synth N, okay? But it's N plus nodes, N plus, no, it is gonna be N minus nodes, yeah, okay. I know dot start, and that's it, okay? Why minus nodes? This is tricky. This is tricky because my, this is crazy, okay. This is a little bit complex. No, it's not complex. It's just a lot of information at the same time. Okay, but sooner or later you will have to do this type of things. Okay, the point is this one. We have one array. Okay, that is called synth rasa that has a bunch of synths. This is my synth 1, 2, my 3, my 4, actually my 0, right? My 0, my 1, my 2, my 3, my 4, and my synth 5, and so on. And you also have another section, okay, where you have one synth, which is the number of nodes, which in this particular case, you decide to only have one, which is your 0. But then you are triggering, you have a bunch of buttons all together, okay? So your button 0 belongs to your synth, and your button 1 belongs to your first sampler, and your button 2, let me draw this a little bit more clear. You have an array of buttons. Button 0, button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, and button 5. You have one synth, and then you have also sampler. I'm going to call it sampler 0, sampler 1, sampler 2, sampler 3, and sampler 4, right? So here, what you are doing is, if n is minor than node, then play this one. But then you are using, if button 1 should go to 0, 2 should go to 1, 3 should go to 2. That means that you are subtracting the amount of elements of the synths, which is exactly what I'm doing here. N minus nodes synths. And then I think that's all set. Okay, as far as I can see, I cross fingers. If this is not working, I'm not gonna fix it. It's not working. Okay. Okay, that means that in some part of the code,
I think we make the divisions of the layer with the number of nodes as 24.
The
So
number
we have
of
to
nodes
modify
and
that
not.
too.
Okay, you are all right. In all the places where we have nodes, okay, maybe we should change that to yes, that is a problem. In other places we have nodes, because nodes has now 1, okay? So I'm gonna create a new variable, and we are gonna done with this because we're spending a lot of time, but it was important. It was very important. We are gonna say here, all types of sound. That means, or let's say synths plus synths and samples, okay? Amount, synths and samples, it's a variable, okay? Now, synths and samples, it's gonna be equal, and that is gonna happen until we know how many we have in this array. That means that here, after this, I'm gonna say synths and samples is gonna be equal to nodes, which is telling you how many synths plus sound URL plus how many samples. In all the places where we have these, now is sample. Now is samples. Now is samples, okay? And then in all the places where we have nodes, in all the places where we have nodes, okay? We will have to go back. Now, this is nodes, this is actually nodes, this is actually nodes. However, here is samples, 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 all of them together, all of them together, all of them together, all of them together.
Wait. I got lost. Why in some parts we leave notes and why we change it in another parts?
The only place where we leave notes was in the place where we were differentiating between scenes and samples. It was the only place where we keep notes. This is the only place because these are the only places where we were concerned about the difference between a scene and a sample. Okay.
Okay.
And then I cross, okay, and that's it. Oh, it's working. No, it's not working. We have a problem to fix now. No matter where I press in my mouse. Okay. I'm always pressing in 0. And that's because when I have my mouse click, okay. Okay, it's here because it's here the problem. And here, since of samples, as far as I can, I cross my fingers. And that's it. I'm happy. I'm gonna be able to get my payroll happy, okay? Because I feel that I'm explaining something that, okay, that is working, okay? This was not simple. This was not simple. It took about an hour, okay? About an hour to solve. But I hope that this hour that we spent could help you to understand that one of the most powerful things that you can do with a computer is to understand that you could generalize. Can you say that in English? I guess yes. Generalize, make a generic solution when you have elements that have to happen in a similar way, okay? In a similar way, okay? And as you can see from this code, now it's more clear. Do you want more sound? Do you want to add more sound? Okay, just go and add a new sound. Ta-da! And you go back to the code and it's not working. I don't know. I think this is a matter of this was not my fault. This was oh no, the problem is here. And now we need another panning, right? And now we need another panning. And now we have to wait for the server to restart. But anyway, okay. Do we have a new sound? And everything should still working identical, okay? Everything should be identical. Or the other way around. You can just remove sounds. If you decide to have less sounds, you can just go here and then your code is gonna still work. But again, we have to wait for the server to work, okay? Yes, does that make sense? Yes, we have to wait.
I'm not sure if that could help, but if you go to glitch and you select the part of tools and you put rewind.
But first, no, teacher. We discovered that when the page like crashes like it is now,
yes,
we tried pressing as first say the rewind button, but we also figured out that it will like erase everything until we don't know which moment of the
I see
the changes.
Okay,
So it will sure make the code work again, but I'm not pretty sure of from which part.
Oh, I see. I think the place that we want to do, there is another place. No, we don't want to go. Okay. I saw the other day a reset button, not a rewind, but a reset. Okay. Does this the clear? No, the booger. Oh, if we go to, I guess if we go to the debugger, that would be the same if this start to work. Or we just wait. Import terminal, lux. Okay, we are already in the debugger. Could not connect to the debugger prior to share docs. Error emitted. Clear. Stop debugger. Look. Oh, when to stop the debugger, maybe that's enough. Yes, that's it. When we stop the debugger, it works. Okay. Turn on the debugger, turn it off, something like that. Okay. That's good. That's good. So I want you guys to go to, let's go to team number 4, and now let's go to team number 5. Team number 5, are you here, team number 5?
Of course, claro que yes.
Okay, it's team number 5 is working. They tried to add a GUI, and I was trying to help them. We didn't manage to finish that. The slider is working. We have sounds here, and we have drums here. I like it. I like the sounds. Oh, and there was a hi. Yes, where was it? And then we have these things, right? Good, it's working. Okay, it's good. By the way, something is happening with that code because it's starting to degrade the sound. Okay, same mistake right here. I'm not gonna fix it in this code, but you can understand right now that you can convert this into an array of sounds and then you can read it. Something is the same here. Okay, be careful with this way. Again, there's no logic in doing this. It's better to do it programmatically with numbers and index of arrays. But what is a little bit concerning is that the sound is starting to
maybe it's the WAV format.
Yeah, but the sounds were downloaded only once, and then it's fine. You can play as many as you need. I don't see the problem. I don't see right away the problem. But what it was not good is that the sound is starting to degrade when you play it. I mean, let me close this one, and then let me close this one, and then let me close this, and then let me close. Oh, this is the one that we had in the example. I'm going to close this one, and this is the one that we were checking. And I don't understand why when I go here and then I play. Yes, if you don't mind, could you test it in your computers? Because it could be my audio card. I'm in a Linux computer that has some issues with the audio card. So I just want you to know if when you start to play many of them, you start to have, start to decrease and play slow and have some issues that you can clearly hear that the thing is starting to jitter a little bit. Please
Could you
check.
send us the code, teacher, please?
Oh, of this one? Yes.
What's the link?
And that's it. Okay.
Teacher, well, in my case, I don't hear any problem.
Okay. So it's my computer. Okay, let's have a 10-minute break and then we come back to the second part of the class. The second part of the class, it's going to be another graphical library that has a small audio library that allows you to do games in 3D. That could be also a very interesting way for playing and doing sound experiences. Okay, see you here in 10 minutes. Is that okay?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, I'm gonna pause the recording. Please remind me that I have to stop and remember that if you have your camera on, Destiny and will be happy with you. Camera on. Okay. Change of topics. Okay. Change of topic in such a way that we can refresh a little bit our knowledge. Is the same knowledge. This class is about web and audio for mobile devices. By the way, I haven't reached the mobile devices because at this point of the history, pretty much there is a huge amount of applications for mobile devices that are wrapped in web applications. Okay. And that's why I think that if you know how to code this, it's going to be very simple for you to code applications. Okay. Okay, so let's move on. But there is one thing that I do like a lot, okay, which is this kind of sound experiences. Okay, P5GS is pretty nice. You can do very nice things, but there is a lot of audio applications that requires also another kind of graphical interface. Okay, that could be of a huge amount of different ways. So if you go into here, I think this one is not working anymore. This is just a documentation about the code. Okay, this was kind of nice. It's using Tone.js, Three.js, and that's it. Okay, so what is Three.js? Three.js is not an audio application. It's not an audio application related, but it's a it's a 3D engine. Okay, it's a 3D engine graphics. Okay, so as you can go here, you can go to the documentation and you're going to start to see a small piece of codes that you have here. Okay, so what are we going to do in this particular case? What I'm going to start to do in this particular case is the following. Give me just 1 second. And then what I'm going to do here is, first of all, I'm going to start with a new application here. So I'm going to close. Oh, Diana, sorry. You were asking me before we go into that topic. Diana sent me a message saying, what do we need to do if we want to add knobs to our project? Okay, the only thing that I do, because I haven't done it in a long time, was just searching for knob in P5GS. Okay, and then it points me to this particular web page. Okay, no, this one not. Okay, this is one slider, one solution. It seems pretty simple, but it was not this one, the one that I found first. It was this library, which is coming from Code for the Artist. Okay, somebody wrote a code for artists, rotating knob maker. It's pretty nice, one knob neighbor, one knob maker. Okay, so, and the only thing that I was doing is checking what is this about, and then it comes with an example and it's explaining a lot of the things that I've been doing. Okay, one more time, probably the only thing that you need to do is downloading let me download example. It's a Bob example in archive for download. Okay, and it says that include knob maker 5GS. So if we open this file, we will come into here. It seems that knob maker 5, and as you can see here, there is a knob maker GS, which is a library. It seems that this library, by the way, requires a set of images. Okay, so important that you have also in your code, okay, that you have also in your code, where I cannot see them. Oh, because this is not a set of images. Okay, so if you go here, you will see the image, and then probably this image has different levels of parameters and so on. Okay, important, maybe this is a PNG, but also a SVG. Okay, and then you just follow this example. Diana, if you don't mind, please explore this on your own. If you get stuck, we can have, or you, Diana, or anyone, we can have a explanation about who do it and how to implement it. But I don't think we need to spend more time in the class about this thing. Okay, so I'm gonna send you the code here and try to implement it on your own if you want. The other thing that I want to show you is also that P5 is a starting point, but then people start to create libraries for the documentation. Okay. Actually, they are called bibliotecas in Spanish, and you can see in the same way that we have P5 sound that we use at some point, you can also have something for adding buttons. If for some reason your code requires a lot of buttons, maybe you should check this library. If you want to create, well, this is pretty nice because this is turning on your webcam for doing interactive things. Maybe you want to use your tracking, face tracking for making music. For example, you can track your face and then do something like that. Maybe the GUI, which is the one that we were implementing with one of you, it didn't work properly, but we didn't spend a lot of time changing, but it is for doing GUIs. Okay, we have particle systems, and we have rotary knobs. Look, I said perillas. Okay, it seems that here you can do it, and shapes and all of these touch GUI. This is for laptops. If you want to do an application for a web tablet or something, then you don't have the mouse X, mouse Y, right? And then you can create GUIs here with sliders and things like that. And that's it. Okay. So these are different libraries that you can explore. These are not the only libraries that you have. You can find any others on the web. Okay. So that's important for you to know that is important. Okay. And then that's it. Okay. Now go back then to this piece of code. Okay. What are we gonna do in this particular case? Well, what we are gonna do in this particular case is that, whoop, did I move that? What happened here? Oh, it was just move here. Okay, so I can go and then put these here. Okay. Okay, so what am I gonna do is I'm just gonna go to my script and then I will go to my back to the glitches. Okay, back to the glitches, and then okay, I have 1 hour and 10 minutes for getting this, so I'm gonna speak a lot. Okay, please turn on your cameras. Please ask if you are chatting with somebody else. Please just send a message saying, hey buddy, wait for me, because this hour is going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to create a static web page. Okay, this is going to be a static web page. This will be a static web page. Okay, it's been generated. Now that it's been generated, I have here a very complex CSS. I don't want this huge CSS that I have here. I don't need it. So bye-bye to everybody. And I'm just gonna say body, it's gonna be equal to margin.0. Thanks for the people that explain that at some point, and probably I can add that a comma here, and this is fine. I have a script here that is empty. Bye console. And then I have an index HTML that is huge. As you can see, we are just repeating stuff that we've been doing. The only thing that I'm going to do here is going to say bye to the metadata. I'm going to say audio 3D. This is going to be audio 3D. Okay, and then I'm just gonna start to remove a bunch of things here from my body to my body. Bye, and then it's gone from my body to my body. Okay, bye to everything. And then I just have the script, and then I just have this here, and then I just have this here, and then I just have this here. Important thing that you have to have. Okay, important thing that you should understand at this point. My script is not going to be of the fair. In order to use this, JavaScript didn't start as a huge complex infrastructure as we had in the past. In the past, it was just for tiny things. Turn on a button, but then JavaScript started to become big, so big that people start to create libraries. in such a way that now there is the concept of modules. So in order to use modules, you have to say that you want to treat this as a module. Okay, does that make sense? Otherwise, you won't be able to import code directly into your script. My script is at this point completely empty. Okay, the first thing that I will do is I'm gonna import, okay, 3 from here. How can I do that? Well, if I go here to the scene and then I will go how to install it, and then I say you can install it from a CDN static, and this is the 3 version that you want to install. Okay.
Professor, how did you enter to that page, or what was the?
Okay, I can send
the
you.
route?
I can send you the link here. I can send you the 3GS, and then I go to the documentation. Okay. And that's it. Okay. So in the manual, you can see that we have how to install it. Ooh. And then if I go to the install here, it's going to say that one thing that you have to do is you will need to import it from some particular place. But be careful, because he's saying which is the version that you want to install. Okay. From here, which is the version that I want to install, I will go to 3. Okay. This will install the last version that we have here. Second part, then in the getting start, I'm just going very quickly to the getting start, is saying that the first thing that you need to do is to create a scene. Okay, I go to the scene and then I go to the scene. Am I doing wrong? Am I doing fast? Well, I don't know. So I have to be sure step by step that I don't write 100 lines of code without knowing that things are working. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is just gonna test that everything is working. So I'm gonna go with my thing. Oh, voila. The thing that we have here, that means that we do have a scene, okay? So it's a way for knowing that we're not having mistakes. If I'm doing a mistake, for example, this one, okay, and then I go back here, I will have an error, okay? So this implies that everything is working fine. Once that I have the scene, okay, I will go to my my create a scene, okay? And then I have here a bunch of examples, create a scene. Once that you have a scene, you need to turn on a camera, okay? And then you need to turn on a render, and then, okay, let's grab these 3 pieces of code that we have here directly into here, okay?
Professor, can you send us the link of the page?
This code, absolutely. I go here and then I copy this one, it's going.
Thank you.
Okay, now, once that we go here, oh, we have an error, no, that's that, what's going on here? It seems that I have an error, okay. That I'm repeating this twice, okay? I made a mistake and I'm repeating this twice, so bye-bye. Okay, so first of all, a scene, second, a camera. I'm saying that I want to do a 3D as a video game that has perspective. That's why I'm turning on the perspective camera with the angle, okay? This is the angle, how wide that you want to see, okay? And then this is the size that you want to use, which is window, which is a global variable that says that is your browser window, the width and the browser height, and then what is the minimum render and the maximum render that you want to use, okay? Then we have here a render and we say, please use this audio engine. As we speak a couple of months ago, WebGL is the way that we use in order to connect to my OpenGL graphic card, okay? Then we're gonna say, please render, okay? This, and please document is another HTML variable that refers to my HTML that is here. So what I'm doing here is please go to the body. Okay, that means that I'm going to be here to the body. I'm getting, let's say that we are inside here, and then please add something. What do you want to add? Please add the render DOM element. Once that I go here, and then I go back to my audio, at this point, now I have a black thing. Okay, everything is black. Okay, now I go to my part that we have here. I continue reading. You can go back to this a little bit later. And then let's go back to check these couple of things that we have here. I'm copying this part here. I'm going back to my script, and then I'm just adding these couple of things here. What am I doing is first, I need a geometry, okay? Then in addition to having a geometry, I need a material, okay? At this point, I'm just selecting a material and I'm just adding a color to the material. And then I'm saying, please build a cube. I'm adding a cube, which is a mesh. Mesh is a term for describing a geometry with a material, a real graphical object, okay? And then we're saying, with which geometry? With this geometry. With which material? With this material. And please add to the scene the following cube, okay? And please move the camera to this position. Be careful, because in all the things that we were doing, where we're using X and Y, right? Now we will be using X, Y, and Z. Z is how depth are you moving the camera, or how far in the profundity or the deepness of your screen you are placing something. If we go back here, we are gonna back and we don't see anything. Why we didn't see anything? Because as in the Bible, okay, we need to say hágase la luz, okay, which is an important part that we need to do. We need to add a light, and we don't have the light right here. Okay, no, that's not true. We need to animate the render. That's why we don't have it, okay? In addition to this, we need to add a light, okay? No, sorry, we need to do the render, okay? Be careful with this. This function is equivalent. It's equivalent, I don't know if you write equivalent like this, to the draw function, okay? This function is being repeated over and over and over in your browser, okay? Pretty much at 60 times per second. Why? This is the name of the function that will happen when the frame finish. Because animate is the name of the function that you want to talk. Basically, you are showing auto calling.
Teacher, I have
Yes.
a doubt.
Yes.
Which is the difference between, let me annotate, between this and this?
Sorry, I don't understand the question, because
I mean, in the const camera here, in the line 3, you are like adding the camera, and
yeah,
in line 14, you are like specifying the value of its position. Or I got kind of lost.
Oh no, this is not the exposition. This is the angle. How like, have you ever taken pictures with a reflex camera?
Yeah.
That you can put a lens for zooming, or you can put a ojo de pescado, a fish eye, or you can put a macro lens, and you can have different ways of how.
Okay, and the line 14 is like the height.
No, this is moving the camera. You have a space, okay? You have your universe, and you are deciding where you want to put the camera, okay?
Professor, so the 75 is the focal length of your lens?
It's the focal length is the angle. It's how yes.
Yes, but in cameras it's called focal length. Like
yes, actually, if we go to the perspective camera, they will say it like that. Let me go
thanks.
to here, and then, yes, perspective camera, okay? The projection mode is designed, it's most common projection mode for rendering 3D scenes, okay? The number camera frustrum in this context is called frustrum, okay? Okay. Okay, sorry. And we have now a camera that is far away in the horizon to a square, which doesn't look very nice, right? Because it's just because we are extremely geometrically positioned. And the last part of the example that we have here, is that it comes with a small example, animating a cube. If in our, okay, if inside our animation, we decide to modify the cube, then we go back. And now our cube is moving, okay? It's very simple. Now, if instead of having a cube, or actually, if in addition to having a cube, we go here to our scene, okay? And before that, let's say, let's do that here. When we are the scene, okay? When we are the scene, we say scene dot background, okay? And we change the background to some color, okay? And we say color, or actually background, and we say here RGB, I don't know, 0x, FF0624. I don't know if this is going to work or not. No, it's not scene background. Scene, I think it's scene is not a function, but scene background, it's equal to this. Let me check if this is fine. Okay, it's not working. Let's go back to our scene. So I go back to the scene, I search for the scene, and in the scene it's saying background. Yes, if not null, it's all where it can be set a color, texture, or whatever. Okay. So yeah, it's background. Background, if not set the background used when rendering the scene can be set to color, which sets the clear color. Okay, let's go to the color. So that means that we need a new 3 color. Maybe that's the problem. Let's cross fingers and check that scene background it's equal, okay, to a new color with FFF. Yes, and now we have a background of red, which is kind of ugly. No, so we're going to say 0, 0, 0, F, 0, or whatever. I'm just putting whatever, okay, whatever color. This color 1, 2, and then let's type this one to F. Okay. Why is this not working? Maybe because it's too soft. Okay, that's it. Okay, scene. Okay, now we have a scene and we have a cube that is moving. Okay, we have a scene and we have a cube that is moving. In addition to adding a moving, in addition to adding something like this, I will add, okay, and this is going to be important. One thing that is going to be important is I'm going to add a floor, okay? I'm going to add, thank Maria for staying away. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to add a floor, okay? So in addition to add a floor, I'm going to say, okay, well, I already have a cube. This is my cube, okay? This section is for my cube. But before adding a cube, I'm going to add a floor. So here I'm going to add a floor. Okay, I have 15 minutes to finish this. Oh, okay, I'm going to add a floor. How am I going to add a floor? Well, what I'm going to say is first I need a constant that is going to be called the geometry. The geometry of my floor is going to be equal to a new 3. Okay, how do I know this? Well, because I already know it, but if you go here, you will go and you will realize that here you have the different geometries that you can use, okay? This is like the draw rectangle, draw whatever. Yes, Unity Online. Actually, Unity convert the things into WebGL. So we are coding directly into WebGL, okay? Sorry. I'm going to create a plane, okay? I'm going to create a plane. Okay, now because I'm creating a plane, okay, actually I'm going to say this. I'm going to create geometry from my floor. It's going to be a plane geometry. However, this is going to be of, I don't know, of 100 or maybe even more. 1,000 times 1,000, okay? 1,000 times 1,000, for example. And in which parts, I don't care. Well, this, I'm going to keep this one like this one. And then I'm going to create a material, and then I will care about this one at this moment, okay? This is my plane. This is my material floor. I'm gonna be my material floor, okay? Geometry floor, material floor, and then I'm gonna have my plane, and my plane is gonna be using this particular geometry and this particular material, okay? But one thing that I want to do is, this is a plane that is going to be like a piece of paper, and I will need to rotate it in order to make it a floor. Otherwise it will be a how do you say, a wall. Instead of the floor, it will be a floor, right? How can I do that? Well, I can do something like, I already have it around here. I'm gonna say, I think that I want to say geometry floor, my plane. I want to position this one, okay? My position in Y is gonna be equal. And then my plane dot rotation dot X, it's gonna be a minus math dot pi, because this is in radians, over 2. That means 90 degrees, okay? I'm rotating this 90 degrees. Okay, and then I cannot see my floor. Why I cannot see my floor? Can you help me? Why I can see my floor? 3 plane position, X scene plane. I cannot see my floor. Okay, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna change the color of my background to be blue, R, G, and B. Okay, I don't see my floor. Geometry floor, material floor. Oh, I maybe. Plane, geometry floor, material floor, position, and X, and then I want to my scene, add my plane, okay? What color do we have? R, G, B. Oh, and then this one. I don't see the floor, okay? And I don't see the floor, maybe because my X and my Y is in 0. What happened if I put this in -1? Okay. Okay, and that's it. Okay. I cannot see it because it was in the same place where I have my camera. And it was so near, that I cannot see it. Okay. Okay, so I have a floor, I have a ceiling, I have a floor, I have a sky, and I have an object. Okay, does that make sense? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, now that we have this, the next thing that I will do is adding a way for navigating my plane. Okay, so I'm going to start to navigate my, I'm going to try to modify my floor. Okay, instead of having my floor as a color, I will have my floor as an image. In order to do that, I will need to do a couple of things. I will need to have a image loader, okay? A text loader. So in any place of my code, I'm gonna add, I would say here, or maybe here, okay? I'm gonna say, I want to generate a loader of images, okay? Because I have a loader of images, now I can say, please create a texture. And this is in the floor section. I have my geometry, but before doing that, I'm gonna create this texture, which I was calling texture piso because it was in Spanish, but texture floor, okay? It's gonna be an image. I already have the image in another array, okay? But I do have an image. You can use any PNG that you want to have, okay? This is the texture of the floor. And then I have to say, okay, if I don't do this, I think I can, in my basic material, instead of having a color, I can I think I can do map dot texture floor. What is the problem? Texture floor. Okay, thank you. Texture floor. Is this gonna work? Kind of. I think it's working. However, my texture is huge. Okay, because my texture is huge, I'm gonna add a couple of things here. Okay, I'm gonna add a couple of images here, which are my texture floor. Okay. My texture floor, okay, is gonna be wrap, and I'm gonna use a function that repeats the texture. This one repeats texture, okay? And then I'm saying how many images do I have in the X and how many images do I want in the Y? How many? Oh, you didn't write how many, okay? Is this working? Oh, yes, it's working, okay? I'm going to remove the color, by the way, because I don't think I want to have the color here. I just want to have a texture, okay? And then I have a texture. This is an ugly image, but I have now a floor as an image, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, yeah. Now I have this object that you see. And now another fancy thing that we can do. This program has already, or this library has already embedded a set of engines for moving, which is the part that is important. So I'm just downloading, and I'm downloading from this server, one object that is called first person controls, okay? First person controls allow me to use my mouse for navigating a location, okay? For navigating a location. So I will go to some specific place. At the end of my code, once that I have my position, I'm also gonna move my camera dot position dot Y, and I'm gonna put this one on 20. I'm just moving my camera a little bit above. And then again, I'm gonna copy a couple of things that I have already here, which are controls, okay, which is a mistake because we don't have a local variable called controls, okay? So in the place that I have global variables, I'm gonna have here globals, I don't know, we have controls, okay? Oh, we have a variable controls, okay? Okay, I think that's it. And then we do have here, why can we see the image now? We cannot see the rectangle that we have just because we move the camera to the top and now we cannot see it, okay? It's below us, But one thing that I'm gonna do is that in the place where I have my animations, in addition to this, we need to do a couple of things. I need each time that a frame is updated, I need to update my controls. This is a recipe. You just have to know it. And once that you know it, you have to use it. This is for updating the controller, okay? The first person controller. But the first person controller requires a clock, okay? You need to have an amount of time. Which means that here you just can, in the globals, add an amount of time. If that is the case, that's it. Now I can use my mouse, okay? Now I can use my mouse for moving in the space, okay? Where is the rectangle? And then you can tip the mouse. Oh, the rectangle is there, okay? Now I can put reverse. I can, let's go to the sky, okay? And this is our rectangle, the plane that we did, right? The plane that we did. And then I can go with the right button, go forward, and with the left mouse backwards, okay? And then with the tilt, I can go and then I can start to use this as a navigation, okay? Can you see, Maria? Manicra. I don't understand what is Manicra.
It's like Minecraft.
Oh, like Minecraft. No, yeah, like Minecraft, okay? And now you can do this, and then you can approach the rectangle and approach the rectangle. However, there is a small detail here. If I go, I just crossed the floor. I'm in the nether now, okay? Which is a problem. I go backwards and this is the floor and then I cannot see anything, okay? So I have to limit the amount of movement that I do have in my code. So I will go to my render, and before doing the render, I will do something like, if my camera dot position dot y is smaller than 0, okay? If that is the case, then my camera position y will be 0. How can I, okay, do you understand what I'm doing here? I'm just saying, if I go below 0, I won't be allowed to go below 0. So I try to go, and I cannot exceed 0. I have a limit there. You saw what I did, right? I'm just saying if, and we could do also the same with the walls, because now I can go and how do you say the people that start to say that the earth is flat? Los flatunistas or what? ¿Los qué?
Terraplanistas.
Okay, I'm a terraplanista. Then I can go and, okay, you see? Because I do not limit the position of the walls. Flat earthers. Okay, I'm a flat earther. Okay, that's good. Okay, now, once that we have this, once that we have a small terrain with a set of, with an object, okay? Because it's 9:22, I don't want to spend a lot of time in the graphics. However, you can do a really complex things here. For example, if you go to the documentation, you can, with this logic, you can do something as nice as this, okay? Actually, this is not first person orbit. This is just an orbital looking. If you are making an object, this object was not created in 3GS, it was created in Blender, and you can import the object from Blender into here, okay? And you can do some very nice things like this. This is again, well, you can go and navigate through the examples, and if you study the examples, you will understand a lot of the things that are happening. However, what I want to do is the audio thing. So if I go to the audio, okay, and we go to check about the audio, we can do orientation of the audio, we can do sandbox, timing, or a visualizer. Let's go just for curiosity. Okay, before doing that, let's go to the documentation, and then I will also check for the audio. Okay, you have an audio analyzer, audio context, audio listener, and the one that I really want you to know is the positional audio. If I go to the positional audio, and here it's going to say, this uses, voila, the Web Audio API. So this library internally is using, again, the Web Audio API in the same way that Tone.js is using the Web Audio API. However, they already create a couple of things that are pretty interesting. First of all, we need a listener, okay? And we need to add a listener to our camera. So I go back to my script, okay? I go back to my script, which is, this is the one that we were creating really quickly. Not a lot of lines, 62 lines, piece of cake, okay? And then this is globals. This is for the camera, for the textures, for the textures, right? This is from camera. I think this is self-explicative, and then this is the geometry. This is for this is all for the floor. I'm gonna put all the things that are for the floor, and this is the, oh wow, this is for the box, okay, for the rectangle, and then these are for the for the mouse control, okay. Okay, this is limiting the floor, okay, and well, that's it. Okay, now the sound. Okay, let's put before the camera or in the camera. I'm gonna put the things about the audio, and then I'm just copying I go to the positional camera, and then the first thing that I need to do, is create a listener, which is called an audio listener, and add that listener to my camera. Mandatory as a receipt, okay? That's what you have to do. Why? Because you need to build things in some particular way. Let's go back to the positional audio. Now this is interesting. We can create a sound that is a positional audio, okay, we can create a sound that will be connected to the listener. This is a positional audio. Okay, sounds logic. Then we need an audio loader. What about an audio loader? You just need one. No matter if you are going to download one sound or 1,000 sounds, you just need one downloader. So in the place where we have the globals and then the texture loader, this is for loading audios. Okay, for loading audios. Okay, no mistakes, no mistakes. We can go back here. We can see that there are no mistakes here. Excellent. And then I can go back here. And then this is important thing. Audio loader load sound, and this will be important. Okay, I will go here and I will go to my audio listener, audio camera, and then I need to load this in some particular place. I will do it, well, I will do it here, okay? My audio loader, please load the following sound. Once that the sound has been downloaded, please assign, and this is something that should be familiar to us, please assign what we download from the web to my object. So we have to remember that there are two different logics in this. One is the data of the audio, which is called a buffer. Buffer is the actually numbers that makes the sound wave. And the other thing is the object sound, which allows me to change the volume, do the panning, do the looping. One sound needs to have a reference to one buffer. And the buffer is what we get from getting the sound. So what we are doing here is that, first of all, we need a sound. First of all, we need a sound. How can I do this? Sorry, it's starting to rain. Okay. We need a sound. We need a sound. Where can we get the sound of? Do you have any of you having a very quick access to the link for? Do you remember when you were doing your games? Did you have a loop, a sound? Otherwise, I would have to go to Freesound really quickly and download a very simple, a very tiny, simple, easy going sound. Log in, give me just 1 second. And then I go here. Oh no, that was my old account. Oh, very quickly. Okay, and then just what do I need? I'm gonna get for
a cat.
What?
A cat.
A cat. No, let's go for a bouncing ball, just because I want to show you something. Okay, the bouncing tennis ball, but just one ball. I just one soccer ball hit the ground. Okay, this is a soccer ball hitting the ground, okay? And then I'm gonna download. So what is this? This is I hope that it is, it's a WAV file, so that's fine. I will show it. Once that I have it here, I will change it to ball, okay? And then once that I have it a ball, I will go to my script. I will go very quickly to my assets. In my assets, I'm gonna load the sound. Oh. Okay, that's it. Okay, this is the ball. Now I can go here and then I can copy this file, right? And then I go to my code. Are you still here?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Oh, actually it works. Actually, it works. How do I know it? Because each time that I refresh. Oh, I know. That's the ball. Okay, so okay, now I don't want to play the sound in this particular moment. I just want, okay, I just want to put it. Now, one thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna modify the ball. Instead of having the ball as a box, I'm not gonna move it. Okay, by the way, I'm not gonna move the ball as we were doing right now. I'm just gonna move it here. Okay, that's it. Okay, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna modify instead of box geometry, I will go very quickly to here. I will go to my geometry things that I have here. Very quickly. Very quickly, geometry, and then we're gonna go for a box, for a sphere, okay? It's called a sphere, and the parameters are first parameter, the radius, width segments, height segments. Okay, 5. I'm gonna say how big do I want it, and then I go here, and then I will say that instead of box geometry, it's gonna be a sphere. It's sphere geometry, right? And instead of having this, I'm gonna create this as a sphere geometry of how height. I'm gonna say 5 times, 16. Remember, in the computers, everything is a collection of triangles. However, if you make a lot of triangles really small, you start to see that things have a shape, like a ball, a football, soccer ball that is not, it's a circle made of a lot of pentagons. How do you say? Pentagons, I guess. I don't know. Okay. And then here we have our bouncing ball. Okay. However,
Professor, I got a doubt.
Yes.
Is there a way to assign different controls of your computer to control the movement?
You could do it, but you should change it by hand. If you want to use the first person control, you will need to do, you will have to use the ones that you have here.
Okay.
Yes, you can do, but then you will have to write all your first person control by yourself. Okay.
Okay, no, it's better like this. Thanks.
Okay, it's okay. Now that we have these 16 pieces, I mean, if you see here and you do it in 5 pieces, it looks ugly, right? It looks ugly. So because you don't have resolution. So let's keep it in 32 resolution. Okay. Another thing that is important, I'm going to start to add a little bit of shape to shadows and things like that to this. So instead of having this as a mesh basic material, if you go here, and I will go here to materials, okay, you will have a lot of materials, and then we were using the basic material. If we go to the basic material, you will see that basic materials, we are not affected by lights, okay? And a material for drawing geometries in a simple shader. Okay, that's ugly. However, if we use, for example, the Lambert material, this is that it looks nicer, right? Or if we use Pong material, we start to have the way for shaping colors, light, shadows. So what about if instead of that, we decide to use, for example, we decide to use a, which kind of color do we want to use? The Lambert material, okay? Let's use the Lambert material. How can we use it? Where is the example? Where is the code? Constructor. Mesh Lambert material. Okay, so instead of having this in my code, instead of this one, I'm going to use a Mesh Lambert material. And then I can start to add a lot of another elements. Like, for example, we can add reflectivity. I think it's properly written, and we're going to say this one from 0.8. Okay, and then I know 0.8, we come back to our code and we start to see this one. Yeah, it looks ugly, right? Why does it look ugly? Why is now black? Why is this one now black? Because
we don't have a light.
Exactly, now we do have light. Okay, so because we need a light, we can go here and then we can go to the beginning of our scene. Okay, and once that we have a scene and a background, okay, we can do something like we will need a light. So I'm gonna create a light. Okay, I'm gonna create a light, and this is gonna be a new 3 types of lights. You can go here, and then I'm gonna search here for type of lights. Oh, we have a lot of these ones. Lights. Okay, look at this. We have ambient light, ambient directional light, hemisphere light, point light, rectangular light, and spot light. different kind of lights, each one with its own properties. Some of them allow you to generate shadows, some of them allow you to generate other kind directional light and so on. So the one that probably we want to use is the one that has that we need. Well, first of all, let's add an ambient light. Okay, let's add well, no, I don't know if we want to add an ambient light. Yes, let's add an ambient light. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much for writing this code, and then I'm just gonna steal this code here, okay? And then I'm adding a piece of light here. And then if we do this, now our light, our circle is a little bit green, right? But it still kind of look kind of, I don't know, I don't like it a lot, okay? I don't see it very, first of all, because it's a 5 units in diameter, and it is positioned, where is it positioned? It is positioned, the geometry is this position in, well, now it's not cube, now it's a ball, okay? And so it could be named, but it could be confusing. So my little ball that we have here, okay? It's in position 0, 0, 0, which, and because it's 5 diameters long, then we have the problem. So I'm gonna say it's ball position of y is gonna be equal 5. So if I go back here, now my ball is steady in the floor, right? You understand what it happened, right? Now, ambient light do not generate shadows. So in order to generate shadows, I'm gonna grab and copy these because I already have it. And then I'm gonna change these to my lights. I have an ambient light, like a small diffuse sun. And then I'm gonna add a directional light. The directional light with a lot of light, okay? With this kind of decaying light in this position, and I want to cast shadows, and I'm adding that into my object, okay? And now I do have shadows, okay? My light is in the ceiling, my light is at 12 o'clock, and that's why now I have this really green and this obscure, because we have shadows, okay? Does that make sense? Yes, okay, now, the next thing that I'm gonna do, I will go back to the sound stuff. Because sound play, actually, I remove it. Well, this is not gonna be very nice, but it will work for the example. Audio loader, sound. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna loop the sound. No. Let's go back to our sounds that we have here. Audio. And then in the audio that we have here, okay, positional audio. We were working in the positional audio, right? Do you remember? Okay, it's here. Our positional audio, we are downloading the positional audio. And this is important. This is the nice part of the second part of the class. We can add, okay? We can add a sound, but we are not adding the sound to the, scene. We are not adding the sound to the scene. We are adding the sound to the mesh. And the mesh is the name that they give to the sphere, okay? What does that mean? That we can add, this is the nice part of this. We can add the sound, no, not to the sound, to whom?
The camera?
No, to the ball.
No.
Ball, add a sound, okay? I'm adding the sound of the ball to the ball. And I'm gonna loop this. This is gonna be insane. No, I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen every time, because we're gonna get pum. It's gonna be well, just for testing, okay? Sound dot loop. True. I think it's how can when I loop a sound? It was already here, no? Sound, we will need to find the sound Oh, it was actually positional sound. We don't see it. We don't see it again because the loop. See the audio for inheriting classes. So if it's not here, it's here. And the tune, filters, source, type, method, connects, get, loop, play, pause, set. Oh, it's called set loop. Okay, set loop. Okay, well, and that means that we can say sound, I think set loop to true. Okay, and then sound dot play. Okay, I think that's it. Now ball is playing, but the nice thing that I have now is that I move far away, and now the sound is really soft. I move to the left, and the sound is in the left. I move to the right. You don't hear it here, but you will hear it if you play it in your own computer. The sound is in my right speaker. I go far away. Volume is soft. I go and volume start to be really high. Okay. Okay. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Okay, well, if that is the case, oh, what's going on? Okay. Okay. Now that we have this, let's make a couple of things that could be more interesting. Okay, or let's make something that could just as an example, I'm gonna do something really not risky, but yes, how to say mengolosino? I don't know how to say that in English. And when I should finish the class with this information, I say, no, we have another 8 minutes. I'm gonna give you something more. Okay, so what I wanna do right now is the following. Instead of having just the same thing that we were doing before, instead of having only one ball, okay, I'm gonna create a lot of balls spread in the location. So this, which was a box, one more time, I'm gonna create a for I'm gonna stop this because otherwise it's gonna be crazy. For a variable I equals 0, while I is smaller than 100 balls, okay? For 100 balls, I'm gonna create I plus plus. Okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna create a material, a ball, and then I'm gonna add the ball to here. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna create basically well, but the only thing that I'm gonna do, by the way, is changing the color. My colors, okay, my color is gonna be different, and then I'm gonna use the 3 color that I have here. This is the other way for creating this. I'm gonna create a new color, okay, but with here it's gonna be a again, just I'm gonna create math.random, okay, from R, G, and B. Okay, I'm gonna put this here so we can, and then with this reflectivity, I'm just creating the same kind of objects, right? I'm gonna create 100 balls. Instead of having one, I'm gonna create 100 set of balls. I'm gonna set each color by random, and then I'm gonna create a ball with that geometry and that material. But the position of X, all of them are gonna be in this location, that's fine. But ball position of X is gonna be math.random. How big is my floor?
1000.
1,000. That means that, and if Math Random give me a numbers between 0 and 1, that means that I can multiply this by 2,000 and subtract 1,000. In such a way, I will have positions that go from minus 1,000. Oh, no, if it's 1,000, then if this is 1,000, then I need to multiply it by 1,000 and then subtract 500 in X and also in Y. No, in Z, because Y is top and down and Z is front and back.
Here, why are you subtracting 500?
Because when I play, because the position, because my looking from the top, okay, my plane is 1,000 long, but it was positioned in center, 0, 0. Because it's in 0, 0, you have, and this is 1,000 long. This is 1,000, but the coordinates are in 0, 0. That means that this is minus 100. Sorry, minus 500. This is plus 500, and the same in the Y. Yes, does that mean? Did I explain properly or not? You can say no.
Not really.
Okay.
But
no, it's okay. Let me explain it again. It's very simple. The plane, I'm trying to draw in 3D. Okay, my plane is 1,000 times 1,000. It's 1,000 in X and 1,000 in Z. Okay, this is X, this is Z, and top down is Y. But my floor is 1,000 times 1,000, but it was positioned in 0, 0. Okay, so this is the coordinate 0, 0. That means that this corner, or actually this corner is in 500, 500. And this coordinate is in minus 500, 500. And this coordinate is in minus 500, minus 500. Yes?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
And then I'm just displacing this. So if I go here, let's go back here, and then let's check this one. Whoa, something is wrong. Ball is not defined. Oh, I see. Why is, oh, because ball here is not defined. Okay, so we need to be careful with these. Okay, I'm gonna comment this for right now. And then I have 1,000 of these little balls in the space. Okay, now we need to add one sound for each one. Okay, I have 11 minutes. Instead, we just want one buffer. We want, in this particular case, we want all the sounds to have the same buffer, which means that I'm gonna create a constant. This is my buffer, okay? This is my buffer, okay? Okay, actually, I don't think we will be able to do it with 100. Maybe we can cross fingers and see if this is not gonna fail. I don't know, it could fail because 100 sounds playing at the same time could be tricky. So for now, I'm gonna just do 10, okay? But, and then the things that I have here, I'm gonna say that, that my buffer, I'm changing this, my buffer, it's equal to buffer, okay? Because it's the only way that I have in order to have a global variable here. Constant person expecting y. Oh, my one, no, because it's not a constant, it's a variable. Let my buffer, it's my buffer, okay? Now that I have that, oh, actually that is something that I need to do before here. And now that I have here, I will need to create a bunch of sounds. So, okay, I'm gonna copy this. my loading of my buffer will be, and then these two guys, these two go. The audio needs to be loaded before the box. Okay. Okay, the audio has been loaded before the box in such a way that now in such a way that now my sound, this one here, so I have a listener, I have a buffer, I load my sound, and then in my 4, because this is inside my 4, I create a sound, which is this sound, and this scene, I add the ball, and in this sound, I set my buffer, and then I set a distance a little bit way more smaller, 5 maybe. I set the loop, and I'm gonna do a nice thing here with the sound. I'm gonna change the it seems that I cannot change the frequency. I just want to change the tuning. Okay, this is the tune. Modify the pitch. I'm gonna change the pitch a little bit. I'm just gonna change the, okay. Buffer is not defined. Buffer is not defined. Buffer is not defined. What do you mean that buffer is, yes, buffer is not defined here because this one, that's why we create the global variable, my buffer, okay? And then I'm just gonna create my sound dot the tune, which is this one, the tune, finds dot the tune. Again, just it's equal a math dot random times 100. I don't know. Okay, I go back here. Fail to execute set target in audio parameter value is not finite in set the tune. What do you mean? I'm gonna comment this because I want to understand what is going on here. It's not playing. It's not playing. Maybe this was too long. Why are you not playing? Hey, come on, play. 7 minutes to fix this error. What is going on here? Okay. We have my buffer. We load a sound audio loser buffer, and then this is my buffer. Then we have 10 sounds. We are positioning the sounds. We have a sound and we have the scene. We add the buffer, and then in the sound, set buffer. Oh, maybe because this is a constant. No, that's not a big deal. Sound it's equal to a position audio listener. Set loop through, set loop play. Oh, I don't know. This is bad. This is can you check if you are listening to this?
I'm not listening anything, teacher.
I guess, okay. Um, okay, audio loader, we have an audio loader, that's fine. Then we use the audio loader to load the sound. Then we assign the buffer to my buffer, and then we have a bunch. That's what happens if I download this one to just 1e equal 0, 1i it's minor I, and then what's that variable? No, that's not the problem. Sound buffer. Oh, because we haven't added the sound. Yes, I think that is the problem. Okay, as far as I can see, we haven't added ball. Okay, yeah, that is the problem. Ball dot add sound. Okay. Where is the little one? Yeah, it's too far away. I don't see it. So let's create a little bit more of them. Let's create 50. I don't hear him. The scene, add the ball, add the sound. I will have to.
Teacher ball dot add sound should not be before sound dot play.
I think it would be the same, but yeah, this is the ball add sound that we had here. No. But we are not having any problems here. That's okay. Set target at audio parameter float and set the tune. Okay. The set the tune. I'm gonna close this. Oh, this is my random. This was one problem. I don't. No, that's bad. The class is over. There is something tiny wrong here, which I think is related that the audio has been created.
Teacher, maybe that you separate the part of the listener to the part of the audio. The camera add listener.
The camera add
You see
listener.
that, yeah, in line 78, you see that you need like a listener to start reproduce sound.
Okay, so you're saying that maybe we should add it here. Oh, this one, right?
Yes.
Saying that it was before it was here.
I'm not pretty sure if in that exact line, but it was all together.
I don't hear them. Oh, maybe. Are you hear them? Do you hear them?
No.
I don't think it's my audio card. No, it's not. No, the problem is that the audio context was not allowed to start. It must be resumed or created after a user gesture or page. Okay. The funny thing is that this was working fine. Oh, I see. I see. Maybe then what we are going to do is that the sound, okay, all the things about the sound positional things, okay, are going to be added after X amount of time in the future. So I'm just going to try to copy this, okay? And then I'm going to just for curiosity, oh no, because that's, I will have to fix it and I will have to send you a small video about why was this not working, okay? As you say, yes, it's related to the place where the audio listener is starting, okay? But I don't think we can use the audio listener. I don't think we can use the audio listener until here, and this is a problem, okay? Just for the heck of curiosity, I'm gonna create this. I'm gonna create this here one more time, and then all the things about the sound. I'm just gonna remove the sound from the scene here, okay? And then I'm gonna add this. The problem is that I cannot do this in any place, okay? And then I'm gonna create these ones to be 100, and these ones to be 100, and now we are not having.
Do you remember the part where you assigned the sound to each ball? Well, to the single ball that we which we started with. Maybe we are skipping that part.
Which one? Which one again? Please remind me, please.
Do you remember that with the first ball, we assigned to it the sound? I think we are missing that part for all the balls.
Oh, this one? You mean balls?
Yeah.
I
exactly. Yeah.
No, this is. Now we're not having the problem, but maybe because I was running or something, I didn't realize and I erased something that it was important. But the point is this one, we have an audio loader, which is already here, right? We have the audio loader, which is reading the buffer. Actually, I'm gonna see done console.log reading audio, okay? Okay, that's fine. And then we have here our balls, which is fine. And we are adding the ball to the balls, that's fine. And then we have a listener to the camera, which is fine too. Then we have a sound, which is good to the listener, that is also fine. We are adding the buffer, we are setting the reference, we are detuning. I'm gonna comment this detuning for 1 second, setting the loop, setting the balls, and then adding balls. Add to this particular ball, we are adding this particular sound. It should be fine. The audio has been loaded. But it's not with the audio of playing. Okay, let's move this one, these audios to, oh, we do need to have them here. Now, 1 and 1. No, it's not playing. I will have to check. It's related with this audio context, okay? I will have to check it. I really apologize. We were really good, but maybe because we were doing anyway. Dormir, exactamente. Let's go to sleep. I will finish this video in a couple of minutes. Just trying to send the solution. I'm gonna put a pause here. I'm gonna put this in a pause.